3 minutes. Martin Wrigley.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I will agree with many of the comments that have come from the House, and it's nice to see such a communal idea that we need proportional representation, that we need to get rid of dirty money, that we need to abolish the possibility of foreign people buying our elections. We see in too many countries across the world, if you've got the money, you can buy the votes, and we must not fall into that trap. I welcome the introduction of votes for 16-year-olds. The children I've met at school talking politics, they have been engaged and understand what they're doing. I do question whether we have sufficient digital voter ID set up in the scheme for them to use. I would personally like to see voter ID abolished entirely, as I would like to see the open register abolished entirely. However, the biggest thing I had complaints about after the last election was postal votes. Postal votes that were too late getting to people, postal votes that were too late being sent back and getting into the elections office. There is some movement in here, but it's not enough. However, there is a whole section of voters that we are completely ignoring. That's our overseas voters. We heard earlier how the overseas mandate had changed, and we now have, instead of some 1.4 million overseas voters, an estimated 3.4 million overseas voters. We need to change the way they can vote. What they're asking for is the ability to self-print ballots from the systems, which is possible, as they do in Netherlands, and return them through embassies and consulates. That will enable us to reach these overseas contingents, and we should be encouraging them to take part in our elections, as they are entitled to. Something like 200,000 registered for the last election, but there's 3.4 million people we have disenfranchised. The other big thing that we have agreed on and talked through is how we deal with mis- and disinformation and modern technology, which is distorting our electoral position, and we have to make more in that. So on the whole, I'd say this is a reasonable start for a bill. There's a lot more work, but having heard colleagues from across the House agreeing on it, I think together we can make this bill better and fit for the 21st century. Thank you.